What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another live episode of Learn Crypto. My name is Nick Hellman.
I'm Todd Butterfield.
Todd just said he is born ready. He's the man with the plan, taking us all to Lambo land. Now today, we're going to talk about a few things. Would you guys want cash back on a credit card with cryptocurrencies? Well, that's going to be an option here in the future. Also, CoinMarketCap, a website that probably most of us use, gets a little bit of a facelift and a mobile application. We'll talk about that. And is the Quantstamp Audits going to become a standard for the cryptocurrency space? I don't know. We'll have a nice discussion today. What's going on over there, Todd?
Bitcoin 9,100.
9,100. How is everybody doing? It is another beautiful day out today. I think it's 80 degrees and sunny, so a little bit hot for us. We are all over the place here in the STL, but we're here today to talk about some cryptos. We'll do this intro, and we'll be right back.
With a common denominator.
And I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Let's talk about something important. Put that coffee down.
I'm not here to waste your time.
Everyone has access to the information. We just know how to analyze it better.
Where else you gonna have this much fun?
You the man.
Todd Father.
Show me the money.
What I've been doing, had to triple my bag. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Wow. Had to triple my bag. Yeah. Had to triple my bag.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it's no trick to make a lot of money. All you want is to make a lot of money.
Everybody's here to make a lot of money, and hopefully we can help you guys triple your bag. The community always bounces great ideas off each other. That's what we're here to do.
Triple my bag.
That is what it's all about. Also, guys, if you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button for all the information on what we offer outside of YouTube. Look in the description below. And come on, guys, smash up that like button for us so we can get a larger live crowd and more views in the back end. What do you got going on, Todd? Anything, or you just want me to hop right into this?
I think you can hop in. I'll get ready for you.
Sounds good. Here is the new and improved CoinMarketCap. They didn't do too much to the website, honestly, but today they are celebrating their 5th birthday. Now, I know some people might take for granted this website, but in the back end, they are drawing in a ton of data from a ton of different exchanges, so you got to give them a little props on that, and they've been doing it longer than almost anybody. Also, the biggest update is they do have an iOS mobile wallet now. I did download it. It's pretty cool. It has all the features, so you don't have to be on your web browser. Also, you can create a watch list on there, which you can now do right here if you guys see this. So if you want to create a watch list, a coin that you're trying to buy at a lower SAT price or USD price, you can add it to the list. Once you refresh it, it should pop up right there. That way I can see all the coins I have my eye on, or maybe some news is coming out, or somebody gave me a rumor about it. I can have it all on one watch list. That way I don't miss any investment opportunities. All right, we're sitting at $422 billion. Bitcoin holding above 9,000, down 1.58%. Ethereum up 1% for the day at $672. That one has been very volatile over the past few days. Ripple still in that 83, 84 cent range, up 0.66% for the day. No real other big movers here. EOS up 9.41%, and Cardano up 6%. Stellar, a 5% gain. That is probably coming off the fact that Stellar and Verge were both added to the Bitfinex exchange this morning. Obviously, that's another exchange. That means a whole nother source of traders and volume for those projects. Usually it affects it on the short term. Over the long term, not that much, but it does allow more access for a greater number of people. We'll see how those two play out over there.
It was a nice bump up in XVG and Stellar, no doubt. That was sweet to have.
The biggest winners for the day so far, Decentraland, ONT, which we have been talking about forever since it got released. ELF, which I know a few people in the community have been wanting me to do a fundamental review on. I just haven't had time. 221 million volume. And then we got EOS next and some others here. Here's a name everybody should be familiar with. DigiByte up 6.63%. at just over 4 cents. No real news behind any of these moves. I think these are just some strong coins that you need to keep an eye on. I don't know too much about Decentraland. I don't own any myself. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Congratulations to everybody who are holders of those bags, and may the profits be with you.
I'm reading a couple things here. Ready for some Bitcoin. We got, I've zeroed into the 5-minute Bitcoin. So, hold on a second.
Somebody asked if you have to make an account to have a watch list. I haven't played around with it that long. I would assume that it's just going to store on this one device. I don't really see a way to set up an account on here right now. I'll play around with it a little more and let you know my findings. There's
a Bitcoin 1 hour. We had mentioned, I think it was on the video, I'm not sure if I gave a specific number here. I was talking 88.75 on what could be this C wave. That's kind of, it was nice to take out this low, which normally brings in some selling, catches some stop losses, etc. So that's kind of why I mentioned 88.75. We did come down, spike that twice, trying to recover. So, I in the blue dots here, I have what could be the high-level triangle I mentioned. I said that because of the way the on-bounce volume is acting, that maybe we'd have a high-level consolidation. So far, it looks that way. But once again, I wouldn't be surprised or worried if we fell down here to the 8,500 support level and then work higher. But it's impressive that we held that 8,800 level and trying to work back higher. So if we can get back here 92, 9,300, that triangle is going to be looking pretty sweet. But that would be then, then the way forward be pulled up to here, and then we're ready for a move to north of 10,000. So we'll see, but can't complain with things the way things are acting. So Bitcoin Cash fell deeper than what I showed yesterday. I still think same thing. Did the showing the triangle. Dash same way. Those all came down when Bitcoin went down and made that 88.40, I guess it was. There is a classic. I've left that uptrend line on there. It's kind of still tried to hold it. Classic here at 21.48. Still, I think, very good. Ethereum bounced back from that 630 nicely. So I'm impressed with it. Back here almost to 675. So I think the triangle here is still probably in effect as well. Instead of having to break below 600, we maybe have already seen the low. So possibly we could just work in there with Ethereum. Litecoin, same type of thing, just change the triangle a little bit. NEO back to touching 85. We talked about that. This could be a little bit of a jump and a pullback, so I still like NEO here. OMG 1711. I mentioned some of these would take out their uptrend lines probably since they're in correction modes for wave 4s, so not really concerned about that. Ripple 83, same thing. ADA up 5.79%, still doing well. Not much change in a lot of these. EOS another 7%. Touch 16 back to 19, so that one just keeps chugging away. And then we've got the XLM USD. Just some of these I've been following with the noon videos or so. XLM still strong. And we had XVG back to the 80 cents. We showed that last night. What we thought was some Wyckoff markings here. And that did work. We had the rally on some bigger volume down here, if you can see it. And then a pullback on lighter volume when Bitcoin fell off. And those are things you want to look for when the general market, like the Wyckoff Wave Crypto Index, is coming down into a sell-off. If you can find coins that are doing back up to creeks, they just jump because XVG showed strength here when it jumped this. And then Bitcoin collapsing is what brought it back down. So those are kind of telltale signs you want to look for. You always want to buy primary trading positions, and using that Bitcoin sell-off to have XVG pull it back was an excellent one. So I could still see XVG continue to work higher. And if Bitcoin does a bigger B wave that I'm looking for next week, then maybe maybe we get a rally to 90, then we come back to 80 again, and then we get a real rally started in XVG. So that's kind of looking ahead. ZRX $1.20, still in a nice uptrend, acting very well. And then I know one here I don't follow as much, but I know a lot of people are on it. TRX USD, stabbed above 10, back to 850, and now 928. So that one's doing extremely well. So I got some other names here we'll go over in a little bit. Cool. I got maybe a news article I'm going to talk about in a minute. But
sounds good.
Otherwise, you got it.
Shout out to M Flow. Glad to have you in here. Light Stout's in here. Jeffrey's in here. JPG Whistler's in here. Good to see all these names. Hunter Hall, your Litecoin, your acrylic Litecoin is on the way. Shout out to you for winning that. We got a lot of people talking about the real Litecoin here. Elizabeth saying she's been holding since 59, so done with it now. Hunter Hall saying Litecoin out here looking lazy. That is usually how Litecoin does it, guys. It just consolidates and consolidates and consolidates, and then when it blows off that top, it goes 2-3x. I still think it's one of the best risk to reward. I mean, that's what you get with some of these coins. The ones that are larger caps, they're going to be low, kind of slow, consolidating, but when they make their moves, they make them hard and heavy, and a lot of the other smaller coins sometimes get pushed down by those or don't react that well. So, I mean, it is what it is. You're in a good project. If you're getting kind of bored of it, maybe since you're in at 59, maybe you ladder out 25%, take profits on that 25%, and get into a new project that you might like. That's just a recommendation.
I think we'll go over jump across the creeks and the accumulation lesson. I've continued to work on the lesson on the Wyckoff Wave Crypto Index and the OP, because that's kind of what I'm talking about even during the day when I do my little quick videos, because the software is working extremely well on the 5-minute intraday volume levels, which are important. So excited about that. We keep adding things. I got a certificate here that we sent out to a student today, just some different things. So, when we're not live, we're trying to make this channel better.
Yeah, we'll read a couple articles, and then we'll show that certificate that people can get. Obviously, guys, if you already purchased the course, you can always go back and retake the lessons, which is one nice thing. And any video that Todd adds to that, or any new lesson Todd adds to it for the software, because there will be a couple new lessons for the software, make sure to go back and take those as well. So even if you're not going to use the software, you can still learn a little bit about the on-balance volume that we will be looking at and analyzing on a daily basis.
Right, because we'll be talking about it. It'd be nice for you to understand what we're trying to discuss.
Cool. First little article I mentioned is cashback in cryptocurrency. Revolut releases new platinum card. Revolut expands its cryptocurrency trading offer with a new metal platinum card that rewards purchases with 1% cash back in cryptocurrencies. That's pretty cool. What's the catch? So Revolut, the alternative banking company that took the world by storm with its impressive exchange rates and zero fee model, announced that it is planning on launching a debit card that will reward purchases with cryptocurrencies. Quote, in the next 3 months, we're going to launch platinum cards. It's a metallic card that allows you to get 1% cash back in cryptocurrencies and also provides you with a concierge service, said the CEO. This service doesn't come cheap, however. Here we go. However, as the new card will cost just under £7 per month, just like the company's premium offer. Now, that's not too terrible, guys. That is about 100 USD per year. If any of you are part of a premium card or like a travel card, usually they do have an annual rate. So it really would depend on how much you spend on your credit cards to see if it would be worthwhile or not. Now, I put all my bills on the credit card and then I pay them off, so I accumulate points. So for me, it might be worth it because I put essentially almost all my finance on credit card and then I pay it off immediately from the bank so I don't pay interest. And that way I capitalize on the cash back that I currently have. But I think the 1% cash back in cryptocurrencies is interesting because it's 1% now. But if you really believe in the upside of cryptocurrencies, and depending on what currencies they're paying you out with, that 1% could turn to 2% real quick. So you guys let me know what you think about this. If this is something that would interest you, or you'd maybe take a stab at it, or if you're going to stick with credit card free, or you're going to stick with the cards that you already currently have. This is, we already talked about this, but the crypto data site CoinMarketCap releases iOS mobile app. If you missed the first couple minutes, they did update their website a little bit, a new logo. I'm not that impressed with this logo, guys, honestly. It's kind of weird. But the watch list is pretty cool. They cleaned things up a little bit. And then most importantly, they did add an iOS application. So you can have your CoinMarketCap on the go, create a watch list on there, not have to look it up on your internet browser anymore. Pretty nice, and it's completely free. Now, if you guys are trying to add this to your phone, make sure to type in CoinMarketCap.com, because that will bring you to the right application. I made the mistake of just searching CoinMarketCap, thinking it'd be the first one to pop up, and I had to scroll for a while. I did not realize there's so many, mimic applications already on the iOS. So if you want that one, make sure to do CoinMarketCap.com. And then the last real quick article I want to talk about, since we were talking about Binance a lot yesterday, some people like it, some people are afraid since they're going to Malta, some people love it as it is the current highest volume exchange out there. They provide you with all the airdrops and forks. Here's a little article on it. Binance ERC20 token audit confirms they are safe to trade. It has been an interesting week for all ERC20 tokens. Despite their popularity, a fair few tokens were vulnerable to a recently documented exploit. As such, the Binance exchange took matters into its own hands by partnering with Quantstamp. You guys might know what Quantstamp is. As a thorough audit of the platform's listings was conducted, no issues were found, albeit other exchanges may not be so lucky. Considering how there are hundreds of ERC20 tokens, a lot more research may be needed. Some platforms trade tokens that are currently not listed on the Binance exchange. All of those contracts will need to be vetted to ensure they are safe from bugs. It is up to individual exchanges to ensure that research is taking place behind the scenes. So far, no other trading platform has announced any official research in this regard. The fact that Binance does the right thing well ahead of anyone else also speaks volumes. For future ERC20 tokens, getting the smart contract audited before issuing the tokens would be the right course of action. Whether or not projects will take that approach remains to be determined. I think this will be another one of those check boxes, kind of when you're doing fundamental research on products. Maybe you can then start looking in, hey, did this one go through the Quantstamp audit or another peer review or something along those lines? And if a coin doesn't want to do that or doesn't want to spend a little bit of funds, is it that legitimate of a coin? I don't know. I can't imagine it costing that much or taking that much time. For now, Binance users are the only ones who can safely trade ERC20 tokens. The investigated tokens are safe from harm. Everything else is still subject to potential issues until proven otherwise. This is another important step toward ERC20 token maturity. Issues like this are to be expected, but thankfully the damage has remained rather limited. Essentially, guys, I think it shows again that Binance is one step ahead of the curve, really trying to make sure they're safe, trying to do the best for the clients. Obviously, exchanges can be hacked, guys, but Binance stores everything in cold wallets. They constantly have these good news articles popping up. I mean, you got to make your own decision, but I think this is a step in the right direction. And I'm pretty interested that Quantstamp partnering here did their thorough audit. Let me know if you think the Quantstamp audit is like going to be the high mark, the high water mark here for all the projects moving forward. I would like to know your guys' opinion.
Handy Ram says Bitcoin longs are about to get wrecked. Interesting.
Crypto CR Hand says, your thoughts on ETH being accused of being a security? Now, it depends on the definition. I think we're still several years out before any finite regulation is brought down by the U.S. government, much rather a global government. Also, Ethereum might kind of get they might look the other way only because of how high it is in the market cap and its name recognition in this cryptocurrency economy. That seems to happen. You know, they're already huge. They're already been around. Technically, depending on the definition, it could be listed as security like a lot of these ERC20 tokens. But time will tell, guys.
When that was being discussed, though, I think Ethereum was like 610, and everybody was like, oh, my God, get out of it, sell it. And it fell off for 5 minutes.
And now it's 672.
And that was it. So, once again, I wouldn't play a lot of that news.
Handy Ram says Bitcoin longs are about to get wrecked. I think what's the lowest projection you see on Bitcoin if it does fall out of this triangle? Like 8,400, 8,500?
I think so. I mean, 7,700 if there's some type of huge selling or FUD or something, I think. But I don't really see that. I think it's probably 84, 8,500. And MFlow asks, lesson 22, I think, is a lesson I've got now. That's Wyckoff Wave Crypto Index, which is the index we've built, explaining it with the OP, which is the 5-minute volume. So we keep track of every 5-minute volume of 6 coins all day long, every day.
That's true.
And that's giving us real volume, not just exchange from one exchange or 5 exchanges. So I'm going to say that's going to be extremely helpful when we get things going here.
Yeah.
So let me have the screen real quick. I want to show the certificate. Carrie had done this today for Chris Piazza. We've kind of tried to do these. We got a little gold seal here. You can't really see it. It says Wyckoff SMI on it. That was just a quick picture she gave me. So we're doing some of those custom, and then we're going to try to put those on a wood background with a plexiglass cover, and try to see what we can do that for cost. If anybody would want those for shipping, etc. I'm sure it'll be a little more expensive to ship, but we're trying to get those together. So if you want to hang them on your walls, then, because I've got my Wyckoff certificate from '82 still hanging on my walls, survived our fire and everything. So we will have those available.
Mark D says thinks EOS will dethrone Bitcoin fast. He also says, I doubted him when he called for $10 ONT. Hey, it hasn't got there yet. You're still a couple dollars away. But
shout out to Crispy's Glass. Appreciate that. Elliott Wave course, my friend is still doing that. He had a extremely big financial or a big family issue that he's had to deal with. And but I know he's back on getting the course done, so we want to get that Elliott Wave course out here as well. Because I talk so much about it, and I've seen some Elliott Wave counts on different channels, and they're hilarious. I mean, they're absolutely horrible. They break rules that cannot be broken. So if you're going to do Elliott Wave, you've got at least take the Prechter Elliott Wave book, at least read that. I mean, that'll get you out of a lot of trouble. But there's a lot of horrible counts going around. So we're hoping to get that course up on probably, I think we threw around like $199 course on that. I'll make sure that it's, good enough to be that high priced. But yeah, we're looking forward to that. And, when I add the lesson 22, you'll get to look at that. It's just going to go over the OP. And then I'll have short lessons on force and technometer. Those will be really quick lessons. There's not a lot to explain there. But I will be showing divergences, different things, non-confirmations, etc. So those are things we're going to be looking for in the future here. Because I was hoping to, get enough the community having the software where, just like we do here now, is somebody would come in and be like, hey, did you check out this coin? Because there's only so many things we can do day in and day out. So I'm going to miss a lot of setups. I have not checked out Trade Devils on YouTube.
And then Antonio says, you talking about Philicone's Elliott Wave counts? I mean, Philicone does his thing over there, so I don't
look at anyone else's really. I've just seen them, randomly coming through on Discords or different chats or something. I don't really go to specific people.
Yeah.
So I'm not shouting at anybody. They're doing them wrong. I just know I've seen some counts. If you know anything about Elliott Wave, there's no way.
Yeah, Philicone does a pretty good job, especially on the small time frames. I know that much.
He's got quite a following, right? So he can't be too far off.
He kills it on the short-term swing trades.
There's just, there's different ways to interpret Elliott Wave. So that's why I told you before, I think to interpret an Elliott Wave count, you've got to have something like volume coming in on a Wyckoff basis. So, and I've said it before, people still call me out on it, why are you talking about Elliott Wave so much when you own Wyckoff? That's been the volume issue, because I can't talk about volume when I got just one exchange up on Bitcoin. So I've tried to provide value to the community. I think Elliott Wave is better than nothing. But to bring in Elliott Wave as a confirming analysis on some Wyckoff, I think that's the best. So, and meaning, if Wyckoff is showing a divergence and we're going to rally here, then how would that fit into an Elliott Wave count? And that's kind of what I just did here on this triangle. It appeared by the OP on the software that we're in some type of higher level consolidation right now. So that would mean we'd have a fourth wave triangle here, and we wouldn't, the low we just made at 88.40 or whatever might be the low. And so far that's somewhat has occurred. So for Driven Muffin, I think XVG still looks higher to me. I think you had good buying on the way up to that news. I think after the news, you took out all the weak holders, and now it's putting together some accumulation. I think it goes higher.
Yeah, you had the people that sold off, buy the rumor, sell the news, but then they just appeared on CNBC Africa or CNBC Trader or something like that. The lead developer and founder was up over there. That's where you're seeing the recent price action move to the upside. So I guess I didn't watch that actual video. I know that they tweeted out and said that he was humble and impressive, and he thinks that the project is solid. So I guess that interview went pretty well. And by the price action, the market thinks that it went pretty well as well. So we'll see what happens here with Verge in the near future.
What's up, Jeffrey Hammers? And Josh Ramsey came by today, and we talked a little bit of business, so that was cool. He knows his trading. He knows his Wyckoff, so that was neat. XVG, I lost an account with XVG because I wasn't trading it more. But guys, you don't know when these coins are going to run. So I was impressed by the strength. I'm still, obviously the last couple of days has made me look a little bit better. But for now, I think XVG still goes higher. And I guess the thing is, I think Bitcoin is still moving higher. And that's going to take up a lot of boats with it. It's not going to take the dogs, but it's going to take a lot of coins. And XVG acted well into that. So I think XVG probably gets drug higher. And who knows? You never know what coin's going to get pumped by somebody, and next thing you know, it's 50, 70, 80% higher. And I'd like to turn off my notifications, but I don't know I got my volume turned all the way off, and when I updated my phone like a week ago, so sorry about all those bells and whistles.
Yeah, seriously.
I can't, it won't stop. I got to turn my phone off. I got everything turned off.
M Flow says, can I get a Bitcoin to start trading? I'll give it back when I make it. Man, you sound like all the people on Facebook. That kind of leads me to that, guys. If you're over on Facebook, there are some good, actual pages that are crypto related that are decent, but everything else is spam, junk. I know everybody in here is pretty smart, but don't fall for any of those. I went on Facebook today, and my whole newsfeed was, make Bitcoin, earn Bitcoin without investing, blah, blah, blah. It's like, come on, guys. And the fact that there's so many of them means people are doing it. So if you're over on Facebook or you got new friends and family or are getting interested in Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, make sure to send them over to reliable people, reliable traders, us here at Learn Crypto, other YouTubers that you trust, Twitter handles that you trust, to get them off of Facebook where all of the information over there is complete and utter garbage. You got to get the fundamentals down. You got to understand what's going on, not just hearing people say, hey, give me this and you'll make that. God, I just can't imagine how many people lose their money over there.
Hey, Johnny, I do have the volume switched off, but it's not working. So I've turned off some other things. Maybe that'll work.
All right, we'll have Todd look at a few charts. So if you want Todd to look at any of your coins real quick from a TA perspective or have any fundamental questions about them, ask them now. We'll get Todd over there on the charts. This is the part of the show where we reach out to you guys for the next content for the little bit. Then we mess around and we call it a day.
And I'm going to try to add more coins to the software. So Bar Chart has told me that I've got lots and lots of choices, so we're going to find that out. One bit of news I wanted to talk about was Peter Thiel is backing Tagomi, which is a electronic trading desk they're setting up to trade cryptocurrencies. It's going to be, they mentioned here, where's that at? I'm pretty impressed with what they got here. It's really going to be like a broker-dealer for someone like myself. So intends to be the cryptocurrency version of a traditional broker-dealer. So I'm going to be watching these guys because that would extremely help my business and what I'm doing. And they're going to have high-speed software that would, like if I was selling $1 million worth of Ethereum, it would route it to the appropriate exchanges quickly. Lots of different exchanges, so that would be ideal for me. Because people have mentioned before to me, like, when I get group trading, it will make my life a little bit easier, but it's not going to make the trading easier because if I get ready to sell $1 million worth of Ethereum, the bids are going to go away. So I'm going to get some sold, and the price is going to get driven down too much. I'll have to pull the offer and wait for it to come back. So it's still not going to be much easier because there's just not enough liquidity in these markets, the bid and offers aren't big enough. So, it'll be a little easier for me because I won't be going through all these accounts, but that doesn't mean it's going to give me the prices that I want. So if I'm driving down prices, I'd have to stop, let prices recover, and then go back to selling. So nothing's easy in these things. So
people want you to look at RDD, Steam,
RDD,
Neo.
We haven't looked at RDD in a while. It's been so long, I got to find it on my list here because I don't think I got it alphabetized.
Elizabeth says, LOL, I wish I had $1 million in ETH. Well, that is not Todd's Ether. He actually runs a crypto private client group where we help manage individuals' accounts using trading APIs. You obviously have full access to your account. You can still make your own trades, but we're just here for strong hands, more eyes, and to help you succeed in this ecosystem. If you want more information on that, go to our website, learncrypto.io, and click on the PCG tab.
If I had $1 million in Ethereum right now, Nick would be Skyping me in from some beach because I wouldn't be sitting here right now. There's RDD on a 4-hour basis. So I had a couple nice moves and deep retracements. I don't know what to say beyond that for real.
I know what to say when I'm looking at that chart. If there's a massive pump, sell it because it's coming back down.
Right.
Now, it's not fully retracement. I mean, I don't have fib lines to look at it, but it looks like it's doing like a 50% retracement off the highs, off these jumps. So, I mean.
Sell the pump, buy back lower. We've got...
people want to look at Steam, Burst, ZPT.
We throwed OMG in there. Let's go back and look at OMG on a 4-hour. We've said it before. I mean, that's a pretty good chart pattern considering. Clear back here to 18 and holding strong. If these markets firm up, that thing gets back above, to 22 and 23. Next thing you know, it's in earshot of 29. So that'd probably bring in a wave of buying. So.
Also, if you want to learn more about Omis Go, I did just update the review on that, so make sure to go in the review section. If you guys click on our homepage of our YouTube channel, I know a lot of you guys just come on here during the live shows, but if you actually go to the homepage, we have everything categorized out for you. We have live shows, technical analysis, reviews, interviews, crypto tips and tricks, all separated so you guys can find exactly what you need and don't have to waste any time as these markets are never slowing down.
Here's Seb Fox, 200% off the lows on ELF, ELF. So definitely doing it big, not doing it in an ELF fashion. I mean, there's a quick double from here, and like he says, a triple off the low. So, and taking out previous highs. So that one still looks higher to me then.
JPG Whistler over here says, I had to get a cart. He has too many bags. Look at all those coins he is loving right now.
Too many bags.
A lot of those coins I do have in my portfolio as well. So I think we're either both doing really well or both have no idea what we're doing.
Here's the daily metal. So wouldn't take much to get that thing. A rally above 6 1/4 would probably help that one out tremendously. And I'd say that my guess that would still be in the cards. Let's do FCT because I know that's been a decent one here coming off the lows. Again, these are daily charts, which I don't bring up as much. That one still looks good off the lows. A quick 16 to 32, so it's already had a double off the low. Let's go back in. That's the 2 hour. So once again, I mean, that's basically a Bitcoin chart. Definitely, as we've said, most of these coins are moving together now. So that's why a lot of these charts are looking the same. So that's FCT on a daily. But everything kind of looks like Bitcoin if it's a strong coin.
Somebody wants you to look at XLM and DMT. Both of those are on Bittrex.
XLM we brought up before. Again, that's the daily. Pretty big pullback to support that I had marked before. This previous triangle back here gave us support at the 20 level right below it. I think it was 18 to 19. And then we've had a nice uptrend off that low. And it still is showing strength. So I think that coin's telling you it's going to stay around.
Shout out to Pat for subscribing. Thank you very much. I love that little notification bell.
DNT USD. Not quite as strong a chart.
Somebody wants you to look at DMT.
Dog Nancy Todd.
No. Dog Marie Todd.
Dog Marie Todd. DMT.
From Bittrex.
I don't have that one there, so let me... DMT BTC.
Whoa. Must have just got added over there or something.
Right, that must be... Let's go back to a 5-minute. See what a 15-minute looks like. All right, there's the 15-minute. Can't give you much help there. Looks like some selling came in when it spiked to new highs up here. But
looks like I'm on their website right now. It looks like it has to do with selling of skins, weapons, all within video game ecosystem. Interesting. I know they have a ton of competitors in that space. They have a low circulating supply, so the coin economics might be pretty good on that coin. But I think I really need to look into the value propositions behind DMT and really how the DMT valuation for each individual coin will rise before I could give any fundamental opinion on that coin as well.
Here's Nexium USD, NXC USD. So that's the 1 hour. Not much to say there either, really. Let's look at a couple more Gary coins. That's Gary, liked it down there at 6,300, I think it was, where I got the red arrow.
Slowing down a little bit, Gary. Where are you at?
I think his girlfriend left today. So we might be getting it, but I think it's like 1:30 a.m. over there, so we still might not get him.
We get the comic relief in the chat box.
We got to go live during the day, I think, to get Gary woke up. But we're going to start doing a little bit of business with Gary out of the UK, so it's going to be kind of interesting. Got a few things planned over there with some YouTube stuff. AMB's been another one of his. That's been a strong one, continuing to stab new highs. He's been on that one for a while. Here's ONT BTC.
This is Mark D's, one of his favorite coins, just keeps on writing.
Seb says Poly. Polymath. BTC. We got that's a 15-minute. Not much to say there either. Looks like selling off the open and then trying to recover it back.
Paul says, Nick, do you know the reasons why DRGN, Dragon Coin, is not on large exchanges besides KuCoin? I mean, I can't tell you. I'm not working with the project. As you know, a lot of these exchanges are pay to play, meaning you have to actually give funding in order to get listing. They'll tell you that's not the case, but guys, that's the case. So I'm not really sure. Obviously, we need Dragon Coin. It's a protocol coin that I do like, especially with these price levels. They need to get a couple. They're starting to get some more projects on their incubator and on their platform, which is nice. If they get a few more projects, what's holding them back is, like you said, they're just not on a large exchange besides KuCoin. KuCoin is starting to pick it up on volume, but that one, came out around the time of Binance and just immediately fizzled out. I think a lot of that has to do with them turning off their referral program. So there's no real purpose for people to be like, hey, let's join KuCoin together, because there was no referral program. Kind of like you get $10 each with Coinbase, you get some trading fees with Binance. KuCoin shut that off very quickly. But yeah, it needs to get on Binance or Bittrex before we're really going to see any really good price action. Now, Dragon Coin, anything below $1, I really like. So that's my opinion. I've tweeted about that. If you don't follow me on Twitter, obviously throughout the day, me and Todd post stuff over there, and our Twitter handles are below our names there. Shout out to over 100 people still watching towards the end of this episode. Make sure to smash that like button, share button, and subscribe button so we can keep doing this on the daily for you guys.
You headed somewhere or what?
I mean, hey.
We're here. We're staying.
Hey.
What's up, Ted Graham?
I told you the Cleveland Cavaliers game is on at 7.
Oh, that's what
I'm
it is.
missing the first quarter.
I remember you did say that.
No,
if I know how to shut the feed off, I'll let you go and I'll just stay here.
No, we're good.
I got Burst USD up here. Let's show that one real quick. Taj mentioned this. Quick move from 24 to 30. So that's those ones, guys, where I keep saying be careful with the cute trading here, because of the trends higher, you're going to have some of these coins just, next thing you know, 20, 30% higher. This one obviously looked a little bit weak here. And if you try to trade it, now you're probably sitting with your pants down. So that's not a good situation to be in when it's a coin that you liked and now you don't have any. And I still think the trend's higher. On the way down, guys, it was so easy to sell and get it back cheaper. So I think everyone wished they would have done that, including myself. And then on the way back up, you think that you got to be able to do that. And then on a trend back up, you can't do that. So you don't get it back. So, it's tough. I think that's the case here is be careful because coins will run on you and then you're going to be left out in the dark.
Anthony's saying, doesn't matter, Celtics are going to take it anyways. Hey, I was impressed that they crushed the 76ers yesterday without Kyrie Irving, without Brown, and without Hayward. That's 3 starters down and they still won, so that is impressive.
What's up, Kevin? There's one more, Zill. Zill's still been staying strong. We've mentioned that one. PPT is one we mentioned down at 14. That was Gary's. It ran to 30, a quick double. So
Kevin said he met the Dragon devs last week. Did you happen to ask them about exchanges or anything? If you did, that would be some insightful information for the community, and I'm sure they would like to hear it. Driven Muffin says, yeah, I really like Dragon, but they aren't on exchanges. Now, you can look this as 2 things. Number 1, you can say it's a negative. They're not on exchanges. I don't want to own them. Or you can be like, hey, I have a KuCoin account. They're not on exchanges. I like the product. So if they get added to more exchanges and in front of more traders' eyes, what's going to happen? It's going to probably go up in value. But do your own research. I do own some Dragon coin. It's a small holding in my portfolio, but I think it's a pretty solid project, and I have bought it for way lower price points. And like I said, anything below $1, I wouldn't be afraid to add a little bit to your portfolio.
I don't know yo-yo, but that one does look good. It just keeps spiking. So
spiking like a yo-yo?
Yeah, hold on. I had that up there. Let me go back to it. Just mentioned yo-yo USD. That's the 5-minute. So let's go back to 4 hour. Same thing. Oversold and just starting to come alive again. So maybe we're going to get back in the game here, guys. If your coin doesn't go up in these type of rallies, then you might have an issue. So just watch, especially if Bitcoin gets to 12,000. There's Bitcoin 91.15 on the 5-minute. So you can see that it is really almost 91.25 would be a new recovery high after all this. So I'd like to see further strength from here. And then I just keep thinking that triangle is starting to look much more exciting here, but we need to get through this 91.20 level.
Kyle says, wow, EOS right back at it. Yeah, that kind of surprised me. Went from the highs of 240,000 Satoshis. I tweeted out that I was going to take some profits. I was hoping for a way longer, not a lot more drastic. I said 160,000 Satoshis. I think it hit as low as 174,000 Satoshis. So obviously I didn't buy back at those levels. We'll see how it continues to play out here.
Ought to be a little resistance on that EOS up here at 1950 to 1971, I would think. Somewhere up here, you're going to have a little bit of resistance. Thank you, Just Dave.
Just Dave.
How about 5 installment payments?
$20. How about, there it is. I was waiting for the icon before I gave him the shout out. Show me the money, and you just did it. 20 bucks. How about 5 installment payments? I guess you're giving us an extra $5 as interest there. That would be appreciated.
Do the dance.
Do it. I'm going to have to practice the dance for you guys, the show me the money dance.
You'll be a meme the rest of your life.
Hey, whatever gets people watching the channel, that's all that matters, right? Thank you, Just Dave. Do you have a question or anything or a chart you want us to look at? Since you did give us a super chat, we'd like to give you that option as well.
debit might be on some accumulation. So debit's coming alive here on the 2 hour. I mean, that's a little bit of volume down here and nice price appreciation through a little bit of a creek here. So I don't know that one, but that one might be good for some type of recovery here.
JP Whistler says, Neo was good to profit as well this week. Yeah, I don't know if I guess you didn't catch the show yesterday, but I did mention that I thought that the price was kind of artificially inflated. Obviously, I like Neo for the long term. I am a holder. I took about 25 or 26% off the table because a lot of Twitter people and YouTube people were kind of shilling Neo as their coin pick of the month of May. So it saw a big price spike, and I thought some of that was artificial, hence why I took some profits, bought back in at a lower level.
See, there's Bitcoin on a 5-minute chart with the OP from 39 exchanges. So again, I'm just trying to go through charts looking for errors. Ethereum still got a little bit of an error. Sometimes the dailies don't, then the 5-minute does. But as I said, you can see it working. I'm just trying to work out the kinks. So
somebody wants you to know if you can look at Lend.
Lend?
Lend, L-E-N-D.
L-E-N-D. Let's see if that's over here at TradingView.
That's on Binance, KuCoin.
I'm going to do Lend USD. Try a 4-hour. There's a 4-hour. So, I mean, that's still more than a double off the lows. So, go to a 30-minute. I mean, like we say, I mean, that's really a Bitcoin chart, except now stronger, leading the way. So, if any of these things now, you know, if you got really hurt and you want to trail some stops now, maybe, you know, that could possibly work. But, you know, guys, we've already been through this so many times about stops and everything. It's not that easy trading cryptocurrencies if you're trying to hit home run and trading with stops. So, if you're doing short-term in and out swing trades, you got to have stops. If you're trying to build a portfolio and ride what we think's a big home run coming, you've really got to try to do some research. Maybe wait for a primary trading opportunity to enter a position. Use the stop maybe on a few things, but I've seen it too much where you get stopped out right before the move, because that happens in regular markets. It happens in the stock market, etc. But in these cryptos,
happens a lot here with the whales. That's what they want to do.
Right.
Check out the weak hands, and then they make the move forward. That's how
exactly.
they manipulate the market.
There's it's so thin and there's so many whales. It's just tough to use stops. I'm telling you.
Also, I mean, we kind of talked about my perspective when I use stops. I personally use stops on buy the rumor, sell the news events. I try to use the stops if I'm not really long term on the coin. If it's a random project I don't know anything about. Kind of like XPM, that fork we were talking about, the Bitcoin Prime fork that is coming to that. I purchased that about $2, I believe. So that is one that I am going to be trailing a stop. It's now about $4. Obviously, I think there could be more upside, but it's a highly speculative Bitcoin fork. I don't know anything about XPM, and I don't have much information on that project. Those are the type of trades that I would use a stop on. Pure speculation, lock in a little bit of gains. If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out.
Same thing. If you come today right now with $25,000 and want to get in these markets, I mean, I think you've got to invest some of that money right now. And you can't use stops because you're going to get stopped out on the first pullback. You know, using a 10, 20% stop, I mean, use a 20% stop. You know, I think you need to diversify, and you need to try to buy and hold. And then, once we get moves going, maybe you could trail some stops, but that's just tough. If you believe in the area, I think, I said it before, a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio is what Wyckoff is all about. But if you're looking for these coins to triple, then you've got to use no stop. So, and you could take it on a small portion of the portfolio, try to trade it, try to use stops. If you're increasing positions, and increasing your risk dramatically, I think I'd use a stop. If you're not diversified, I would try to use some stops. But a well-diversified portfolio looking forward, I think I'd try to ride it.
So Seb Fox says, check out Elec on KuCoin. They have strong links with the OMG. I'm thinking of getting in. This is a project I've been kind of looking at as well. I do talk about this at the end of the OMG review because they are actually doing an airdrop to OMG holders. The details as of now are that it probably will occur in August, so obviously I'll keep you guys posted. And you must own at least 10 OMG to get the Electrify Asia airdrop. So I've kind of been looking at that one. Also, we got Driven Muffin wants you to check out Verge real quick. I'm sure you can do that. I got it up
right now. I've had it up, but I got it up again.
Johnny says, where do you buy your XPM, Nick? I purchased it on Cryptopia. So Cryptopia is kind of an interesting. The charts on Cryptopia are awful, so I don't recommend using those to try to do technical analysis. But you can find some diamonds in the rough over there. Any kind of investments I make on those are very small, guys. Don't go all in on a speculation trade and ruin your portfolio when we think there's such a large upside, projection for these markets in the solid projects.
Mark D says no stops for cryptos, sell spikes, buy dips.
There you go.
I think if you're trading, if you're trying to trade these things short term, I'd rather sell spikes, buy dips. I told a PCG client that the other day when we were watching XVG, and they kind of agreed. It's just, with the volatility and things, you got to be in the right mindset. And a short-term trader is going to be in a different mindset than a long-term trader. So that's when people are talking to me, this or that. I mean, what time frame are we talking on? So Vcash is one that looks dead and great buying range. And somebody said it earlier, like on Litecoin, when a coin goes dead, that's when you want to, and everyone's tired of it, that's probably when you want to think about it. Litecoin did that before. I mean, Ripple did that down there at 20 cents. So I'd see some truth in that.
I mean, even Neo, for example, kind of did that. It was super volatile, kind of found its range, and then jumped up to 198 or 192 off some good news. So it is what it is. What else we got over here?
Ethereum or Bitcoin, what would you buy now?
Here's the thing.
I'm going to go back to usual. I do 50-50. There's no reason to decide. I do both.
It's hard to make that decision without looking at your portfolio. I know that's the kind of the runaround. You need to have Bitcoin as a large holding in your portfolio. Bitcoin is here to stay, fundamentally sound. They're trying to build improvements on it. Eventually, Bitcoin is supposed to even have privacy features. You need to have it. Ethereum, I want to own that as well. There are some high price projections. I think there are a ton of other protocol tokens that are really good investments too. So maybe, I don't know what your portfolio is, maybe you should look at some of these other protocols from EOS to Neo to Lisk to Dragon. The list goes on and on. Ubic, there's a ton of them out there. And I think those are all going to do well as projects, ICOs, companies start to build upon those here in the near future.
And Bitcoin's a store of value here. So I think Bitcoin, that's where people's going to run for investment purposes I guess if you really want an answer, I'd have to say Bitcoin would be the one, but that's not what we would do.
Somebody asked about Holochain's recent hype. I don't have much to comment on it. I know you say recent hype, but the price spike didn't even get close to the near-term highs. That thing was almost dead and saw a quick pump. That could be a whale or anything. I'm not sure what they have going on over there with that project.
A whale. That's what I want to be when I grow up.
We're all minnows. We're trying to become whales.
Right. Here's Lux BTC. Not much to say there. Slow it up here. That's a 4-hour, so not much activity here in the last few days. That was one that perked up, but a little bit quiet here.
Zimmy Jim says, which is best to hold for airdrops? Well, airdrops are, nobody knows where the next airdrop is going to be. Obviously, you can bank on there being more Bitcoin forks. If you're talking about where should you hold your coins to get most of the airdrops, Binance gives most airdrops for the specific coins. They usually give all the forks. And then also, if you are a BNB holder, you can get random airdrops for being, like, say, in the top 500,000, top 100,000 BNB holders. Usually, if you have 10 to 25 BNB, you're eligible for every single random airdrop they put on the exchange.
Shout out to J-Man for catching the Bitcoin bottom today at 88.63.
Boom! Shakalaka.
You were right there. Looks like EOS is going to make a run for its all-time highs. It's got to get through that resistance I just stated, though, I think. 1931. There'll be a little bit of resistance here. You can see its previous support on these sell-offs. That was its previous fourth wave, and this might be a previous fourth. But that's a strong one.
Somebody said they had buys in for around 160,000 Satoshis on EOS as well. Hey, it still might not be out of play. We'll see what happens when it gets up here, if it can break through resistance. Also, when Bitcoin goes on the run, guys, you have to remember that affects the SAT price. All these things are going to probably go up in USD value, but the Satoshi value might decrease if Bitcoin can outpace its competitors like it has historically. We'll see how this next bull run plays out, but historically, Bitcoin does outpace almost everybody.
Well, you better get to your game then. 725. I guess we've done this well enough. So,
any last questions for us before we head out of here? If not, we will be back here at 6:30 p.m. Central Time live for you guys. Make sure to follow us day in and day out on the channel as Todd posts pre-recorded technical analysis videos daily. I'm trying to do more pre-recorded videos and reviews as well. Also, guys, I forgot to tell you, tomorrow after the live show, Kanan from Vertcoin is going to do a pre-recorded follow-up interview with me to talk about what Vertcoin's been up to. Some of the little negatives that have come up in the recent past here, I'm going to ask them about it. So it'll be interesting to see how they reply to those and see how they can continue to move forward with their project.
And then I'm still at some point, I'm going to go live a little bit during the day. So I'm getting kind of organized to do more of that, trying to get a few things off my plate. But as these markets heat up, which I think is coming, I'm going to try to do a little bit during the day if we can, besides the little quick updates.
There we go, guys. Thanks for everybody who stayed to the very end. We got through all of our content. Then we bounced some ideas off you guys, and now we're just saying adios. Go watch some NBA. Go look at the crypto charts. Go for a run. Relax. Enjoy the ride of this crypto ecosystem, guys. I'll see you later.
Peace out.
Peace.
Hey, stay positive, pal. Most people, when they lose, they whine and quit. But you got to be there for the turns. Everybody's got good luck. Everybody's got bad luck. Don't run when you lose.
Play hard, play clean. Be careful out there.
We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.